And we're live.
Oh,
Woo!
I'm alive.
That
You're
was
alive?
interesting.
Oh yeah, Nathan hasn't been around here.
Yeah,
as
Nathan
we
hasn't
get
been
more
here for the
professional.
countdown.
I literally just got 25, 24. I'm like, what?
That's the bomb. The bomb's gonna go off.
Exactly.
I'm just over here like, okay, elevator music, let's go.
All right, are we ready to do this?
Yep.
What are we doing?
We're gonna start this thing, baby. Here we go.
Oh, okay.
On this episode of the Culture Smash Cast.
Oh, my first.
Yes.
Dang it!
Whoa! Dang it! I'm not editing that. We're gonna start again. Okay, let's do it live. All right, here we go. On this episode of the Culture Smash Cast,
Announcements about Constantine.
Hercule Poirot is on the case again.
And Netflix's Knives Out sequel is going to theaters for a week.
it's the Culture Smash Cast, episode 609 for October the 19th, 2022. I'm Stephen Lackey, contributor or editor to the Culture Smash Cast. Nico?
And that's how you know how little editing is going to happen this episode. Nicholas Qualls, contributor to Culture Smash Cast.
Tina?
Tina Qualls, contributor to Culture Smash Cast.
Zach?
I heard your stomach over my headphones.
I know, it's so loud. It's so loud.
I mean, I'm shocked it didn't come out on the mic.
I'm so hungry right now.
So anyway, I'm Zach. I do stuff and things, including this podcast.
Yep. And Nathan?
Nathan Savino, contributor to Culture Smash Cast.
I don't know why my stomach is so loud right now. I feel like we should be in a theater.
Oh, did y'all hear it?
Nope.
No, it didn't
It's
come
so
through an
loud.
orange.
Dude, it was like...
I swear this usually happens to me in the movies, like when they're movie theater. Right during the quiet part of the movie, my stomach goes like Godzilla.
Yeah, I remember hearing that.
Yeah, it's so bad right now.
Anytime
All
my
right, so
tummy rumbles like that now, I'm like, Evie's probably like, what the fuck was that?
Well, you have an excuse though. You have an excuse for it now, at least. All right, what's everybody been up to? Nico, what'd you guys do this weekend?
What did we do this weekend? I caught up on She-Hulk and Rings of Power, so those are done for the season. And what else did
I watched something. What the fuck did I watch?
What did you watch indeed?
Oh, you watched Beetlejuice.
I watched Beetlejuice.
And we saw Casper on Monday.
Yes.
So those were the
We
things
started
did.
our kid-friendly family get-together for Halloween flicks.
Yeah, but a lot of it was like me finishing up Rings of Power and She-Hulk, which I can talk about later.
So you have a kid-friendly?
Yeah, like we'll do
Since we have
because
the
the boys will watch horror with me all day, but the girls and Sheila tend to lean more towards family-friendly stuff. So we'll do Casper, we'll do Beetlejuice, we'll do Addams Family, like those kind of things throughout the month of October as well. So what did I miss?
Okay. Whoa. All right. Nathan, what did you get into this weekend?
It was Gay Pride in Orlando. So I finished a trip and then I went and did Gay Pride. And then I watched a bunch of movies.
Hey, Pride is always fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like when we need to break in new gear, we just go to Pride here and shoot cool videos.
It's a good
It is.
spot.
There's always a lot of cool things to see.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, what did you get into this weekend, sir?
Oh, it's been several weeks, but TLDR, I hate weddings, which means October is full of weddings. And I've been going to 2 weddings, one of which not really fun. In fact, pretty awful. The other of which was all right. It's just not my thing.
Well, I'm actually, I don't know if you guys are hearing it through the mic, but I'm getting a door closed because there's some
Cat
noises happening. No, it's not cats. No, it is a loud TV from the other room.
I can hear it through my headphones, but not on the mic.
All right. So I was kind of sick this weekend. I didn't really do much. But
It's the regions just had a crazy temperature drop, and that
Yeah.
screwed up my sinuses too.
I think what it was is people are like, oh yeah, Tennessee will beat Bama when hell freezes over, and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah. Well, and I think mine actually. Well, I don't think I know that it actually started for me when we went to a haunted house.
Oh yeah, we went to haunted houses.
We did, and that haunted house, Slaughterhouse here in Nashville, was great. I mean, it was probably one of their best haunted houses that they've done. But in the queue line inside the haunt, they just kept pumping the fog in. It was so thick you couldn't see the people beside you.
You could, but it was.
It got, and I actually did post a picture on my social media, but it got caught in my throat, and from that point on, it was a downhill journey to hell for me.
That's what he said.
Right? No, that's what you said.
It got caught in my throat, and then it was a downhill journey to hell.
To hell. That's
I want
right.
you to hit that little dangly thing that's swinging in the back of my throat.
Oh.
I will tell you, though, I got to tell you that one of the coolest things in that haunt, though, and I feel sad that Zach didn't get to see it. Just the timing of it.
Wasn't even in the room. I was in the hallway about to go in.
Yep. So our friend Dwayne and I went into this room that was done like The Ring, the movie The Ring.
Okay.
And they had the video, the video that they all watch on the videotape.
Yeah.
Playing on, on a setup that looked like a TV. They were projecting it onto the wall. And it was the funniest thing because Dwayne and I, we always stop and look at the sets. And Zach too. We just like to see this, the detail. And he elbowed me. He's like, look, that's the video from The Ring. And right then it was a false wall. Samara bursted out and started crawling toward us. That is one of the few times in my life I've full on screamed in a haunted house. Dwayne and I both scared the shit out of us.
I hear Dwayne and Steven just go, holy shit!
Yeah.
And I heard another report from somebody who's in the room that you almost fell over.
Yeah, because she came right on me.
Quite possibly.
Y'all nasty. It was fucking terrifying.
Just a squirt.
By the
Just
time
a little squirt, baby.
By the time I just got in there, it was like, oh, this is the room.
And she was the ring room. And
the ring room.
Yeah, she was kind of already out in the mix.
Yeah.
But
I was like, oh, okay.
It was effective. That shit's scary. But yeah, then I got sick from that. And then after that, finally I started feeling a little bit better this week, and I made it out to see some movies for my Pushing 100, and we'll talk about those during box office. So there you go.
We hit up
you went to a second one
Beast
without
House.
me because I was too sick to go.
Yeah, Beast House is like the most intense haunt in
This
Nashville.
area. Yeah.
And shit's good. It still needs a lot of work. Like sets need a lot of work. Acting needs a lot of work. But damn if it isn't the most intense haunt. Because it's what I like in a haunt, to where you go in, you're like, am I gonna be safe?
And you don't know what the actors are going to do. The actors make the haunt. The sets and stuff can set the vibe, but if you've got really good actors, it could just be walls with tarps over it and be scary.
And they have this second half section that is just the tits.
Yeah, and it's a fog maze, and I was already sick from the previous fog adventure.
He talks about how it was thick in there with so much fog. No.
How thick was it, Zach?
Zach, how thick was it?
You can see about 6 inches in front of you.
Was that enough for you? Or did you need more?
I would prefer 8 inches.
How did you know it was 6 inches in front of you?
You can see about the person in front of you, and that's it. As you hold on to them.
Terrible.
I'm just wondering, Zach, from experience.
Yeah, from experience, I can tell you 6 inches. Like the iPhone, I repaired that thing a lot, and the iPhone Plus 6.4 inches.
You couldn't see the end. You could see most of it, but not that 0.4.
I mean, it was just lights and fog, and you're having trouble breathing, and there's people in there.
That's why I say it's easier.
Were you so the question is, were you choking? Were you choking? Did you having trouble?
Were you choking on that 6 inch 6 inches.
I was not choking. You see, I have been adjusted to the
So
smoke
you're
and
used
fog.
you're used to the 6 inches in
He
your
is
throat.
used to the
Okay.
I'm used to the fog. I'm used to the strobes.
Oh dear God.
KJ was not.
Did you say you're used to the strokes?
All right, so
Anyway, it
Yeah.
was a grand old time, and Steven was a bitch because he didn't go.
yeah, join
You
us
know what
every
else-
Wednesday night
You know
live
what
on
else is a grand old
YouTube,
time?
Twitch, and Facebook, starting at or around 7 p.m. CST. Follow us on your platform of choice or all of them. Get notified on when the show begins. So there you go. Join us. If you're not with us live, you should be.
That is a hell of a transition.
Yeah, I had to just move on because shit was about to get really.
I was trying to
Well, I
set you
can't-
up for a good segue, and you just blew past it.
I blew. Did I blow
blew
it?
it?
Did I? Did I blow
Yeah.
it?
No,
Okay,
that's
perfect.
Zach's job. That's Zach's job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. That's true. All right. Special thanks to
As long as
Skinny
it's
Mixes
6
for
inches.
supporting the Culture Smash cast. Skinny Mixes are coffee and dessert syrups that are 0 sugar, 0 calorie, and 0 to 2 carbs. Head on over to skinnymixes.com and try some of their syrups, such as white chocolate, salted dark chocolate, salted caramel, and a variety of cocktail mixes they offer, including margarita and the different fruit flavors they have available, blah, blah, blah. Use promo code CultureSmash for 15% discount. And to make up for the blah, blah, blah part, I will also tell you they notified me that they have some limited edition holiday flavors,
I was about
including
to say it's that time of the year. They're gonna come out with like gingerbread and
Pumpkin
like,
spice?
Yep, they have a
all
pumpkin
that good
spice.
stuff.
Yep, they have a gingerbread, they have an apple cider. All those things are starting to happen, and they are limited. So you may want to go over there and pick
You know what I'm
some.
sure really it tastes good with?
What?
That Bones Coffee Army of Dark Chocolate.
Man,
Ooh.
I'm going to order some more of that coffee. Nathan, this coffee that Dwayne got me, that's like a riff on Army of Darkness.
Mhm.
I've had it forever, and I was just waiting for a good time to make it. And I made it as a cold brew for us for 12 Hours of Terror. This thing tasted like a chocolate bar without any sugar or anything. It was
Shit's
just
good.
delicious.
Shit
And
is
since then,
good.
I have done it 2 more times. Like, that bag is basically empty now, so I'm gonna have to order more. It's not even a sponsorship situation. That Bones Coffee, what was it called? Army of
Dark
Dark Chocolate. Yeah, that stuff is delicious.
Not
and
last
as a
year,
cold
but-
brew.
Not last year, but
Huh?
the year before, I got Nico like a sample set of Bones Coffee, and we pretty much liked just about every single one that we got.
It was sadly before they did the
Yeah.
Army of Dark Chocolate.
We still have one in there,
We have
Highland
to-
Grog.
Yeah.
I have to do usually I have to do espresso usually because regular coffee is too acidic the way they roast it for me. But I've learned that if I get regular coffee like that Bones Coffee, if I do it as a cold brew, it's not as acidic if you don't brew it traditionally. And yeah,
What is that smell?
Hmm?
I smell something.
there's cooking happening.
It smells good.
Yeah. Yeah, Ada is making coconut shrimp.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's coconut shrimp being made over here, and it's
That
gonna be
is so
delicious.
rude. To
I know.
I'm just like, you're on your thing, and I'm just like, what the fuck is that smell? It smells so good.
For listeners, my girlfriend is cooking in the next room, and she's making some delicious coconut shrimp, and I'm sure it will be delightful.
Mm.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about movies because we got a lot to say. I know Nathan has been hyped to be on this show tonight because we got something to talk about.
Mhm.
Jesus.
Oh no, I know what this is.
Oh, God.
Mhm.
So number 10 on the box office is Top Gun Maverick. It made $687,000. It's made $715 million so far. Number 9 is Bros. It made $933.9. It's almost there. It's made $10.8 million so far.
Anybody see this?
Nathan
Yes.
saw it.
What was your thoughts?
I loved it. Absolutely loved it. It actually hits gay culture on the head.
All right, cool.
Yeah. I told him if it's still showing next week, I was going to try and do it this weekend, but I don't know if I can get Friday or not because of all the prep work we have to do for a shoot. But it would be fun.
Oh,
What?
go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say it would be fun because I always do at least a double when I go to the theater to have to go see Ticket to Paradise and Bros back to back.
Far
really-
ends of either spectrum.
Yep.
I'm really tired, so I'm just going to insert a joke about gay culture and head right there for Nathan.
I was really
Okay, good.
expecting somebody to do that.
Nail on the head.
Mm-hmm. All right, number 8 is Terrifier 2. It made $1 million. It's made $2.4 million so far. Interesting about this movie is it was supposed to be gone from the theater already. It's a Fathom Events, but it's making, for a Fathom Events Limited, it's making so much money, got held over.
The
For
boys
another
want to
week.
see this so bad because just so many TikToks of people
Oh,
passing
man.
out
So-
and they're so scared. And I'm
Dude,
like,
I
oh.
saw a clip of it today.
I saw it.
So-
Don't spoil anything. And I will say, I actually said this. I think I said this to Nico the other day that I don't have any triggers left. Like, there's no need for a trigger warning of anything for me. I have no triggers left. With that said, this movie is gory as fuck. And not just that, it's mean. Like, it is gory and it's also just really mean. Like, mean. And
Like,
the gore is
I saw
stuff.
one clip of it. And I'm like, holy shit!
Yeah,
Like, how it's mercilessly vicious.
it's vicious. And the effects are all practical. The director of the movie comes from special effects. He was a special effects artist before this, so he takes a lot of pride. Like, if you see this in the theater now, you get a 10-minute little documentary thing at the end after the closing credits. And I was telling Zach in the interview, he said there was one scene where after they called cut, they had to go and literally have people peel the actress off the ground because there was so much blood she was stuck. So, I mean, all this stuff about people passing out and whatever, I don't know.
I don't believe that 1974 bullshit.
Yeah, but I will say the reputation is warranted because it is hardcore. Like,
It's not rated.
yeah, and that's one of the reasons I want to. Well, I'm having to see everything anyway for Pushing 100, but if there's a not rated film in the theater, I got to go give that some support and some love, because usually the only not rated stuff we get in theater is documentaries. So
They can't afford, $700 to send the MPAA.
Mm-hmm. So the first Terrifier I hated because it literally felt like a 78-minute effects demo. There was no story.
There was
Like,
good effects.
Yeah, but they didn't hit because there was no context around them. Good effects only work with context, if you're invested somehow. The second one does have a script. It does have a story, but it is very 80s type of story, very like Witchboard, that kind of thing. Like, it's a hot mess of a story, but it's fun in that way. Like, if you're like, for Tina, for you for example, you would probably, because you've seen a lot of that stuff too.
Yeah.
You would gel with that, with the disaster that is the script. It just feels fun. Like, I had it was 2 hours and 18 minutes, and Zach asked me if I felt it was warranted, and I don't know that it was warranted, but I never felt myself wanting to pick up my phone and check the time. Like, I was just there. I was having such a good time with the movie.
Yeah,
But-
see, it can be an awful script, or not an awful script. It could be like an awful plot line and just like, this makes no sense. But if I'm having fun, even if it's just fun at the film's expense, it's a good time.
Yeah, if you take like Night of the Demons and Witchboard and Dream Warriors, those kind of scripts, and smash it into like super gory, nihilistic death scenes, that's kind of where Terrifier 2 is.
As long as it's Dream Warriors and not the one where the baby's dreaming.
It's no,
Oh.
that one
The
is
Dream Child?
Yeah, not the Dream Child.
Fuck the Dream Child.
Yeah, I agree. Fuck
As
the
a
Dream
pregnant woman, I'm gonna say fuck the Dream Child.
Child.
I'd rather not.
I'll pass on that, but I get where you're coming from. All right, number 7 is Barbarian. It made 1.3 million. It's made 38.9 million, and we got really bad news related to Barbarian this week.
Is it true? Please don't
It's-
tell me that shit's true.
Yeah, apparently it was in an actual press release
Fuck
from Disney.
you.
Disney is not putting this on physical media as of now. It's just going to be on the streaming service, and I don't know how this goes to Disney Plus. I guess it's a Hulu thing. I don't.
It's going to
It has
HBO
to
Max.
Well, it starts at HBO Max
Yeah.
because, and everybody's freaking out. Like, why did they sell it to HBO Max? This is part of what we talked about with Prey, where their theatrical releases, anything related to Fox, or this is a Fox Searchlight, goes to HBO Max. So it's going to go to HBO Max to stream, and then it'll end up wherever it lives. But
yeah, because that contract was in place before Disney bought Fox, right?
it was.
Probably.
Yeah, and that's pretty much a known thing why Prey didn't go to theaters, because they didn't want to give it to HBO Max.
Yeah.
There is a solution, and this is what I've been telling people, that this announcement only applies to the United States.
Oh, it's just imported.
I'm just going to, they can't do this to Europe because they don't do this in Europe. There's nothing exclusive to streaming there. Things still come out in physical on different parts
I
of
hope
Europe.
it's region free.
I don't care.
That must be nice.
Yeah, I got a region free play or all region player. We're good to go. But yeah, it's really sad news. It's really bad, bad to hear that.
But
Well,
it's
they
not
made it
just
a feeling-
this.
Oh,
What were you
ahead,
going to say? Go ahead, Zach.
It's not just this. It's any other Fox or Searchlight film,
It's what it sounds like.
which is such bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know why it's specific to them, because they're still releasing Disney proper things on Blu-ray and 4K. Yeah, it's weird.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah, I hate it too. Did you have something to add to that, Nico?
I was going to say it could. I am kind of curious about how Disney is going to try to do new home releases. Like, for instance, how we're getting a Criterion Pixar release with
Mhm.
WALL-E, and it was WALL-E, right?
It was
I think
what?
It was.
I think so.
WALL-E.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just wonder, are we going to see Disney starting to license its home video releases to other distributors?
That'll be
They-
fine.
I'm fine
Yeah,
with that.
and it could just be that maybe it's not set up now, but that could be something we see down the line.
What I anticipated, and I don't know if it's the case, I would rather them license stuff out, because honestly, Disney transfers are dog shit most of the time. They're meaty.
Sound mixes are fucked.
Yeah, they're bad. But I kind of thought for a while they might go to a print on demand model and do it through the movie club, through the Disney movie club.
I mean,
They
Warner
already
Brothers
do that
had
for a lot of
that,
things.
didn't it?
What's that?
Didn't Warner Brothers or one of the other big studios have a print on demand? Maybe it was.
Yes.
Is it Warner Brothers?
Yeah, I thought it was Warner.
Yeah, it might be Warner Brothers. Well, and then Universal has their direct to customer with Groove. It's not print on demand, but they have a direct to customer, because if you go to Groove, GRUV.com, that's a Universal property, and they just sell direct. So yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen. But if they're going to license their stuff out, that'll be fine. I mean, their releases are garbage anyway. All right, so number 6 is Don't Worry, Darling. It made 2.2 million. It's made 42.5 or 0.4 so far. Don't bother this movie.
Ouch.
How dare you?
I know. Nathan liked it. Number 5 is Amsterdam. It made 2.7 million. It's made 11.8 so far. Also, don't bother with that movie.
Oh no.
Ouch.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's one film that is not on this list that we will need to just quickly discuss.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to do that now or later.
I don't know what movie.
We have such sights to show you.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about that in TV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I actually have it noted in your script if you had to.
I haven't
You
read
know,
the script.
I know. Number 4 is The Woman King. It made 3.7 million. It's made 59.7 so far. And
You don't have it fucking notated here.
I thought I did.
You
Oh,
bitch ass.
bitch ass. I don't know what to recommend as far as The Woman King. I thought it was all right, but then there's so much controversy around it. I don't know. Do what you want to do. I don't know what to tell you. Number 3 is Lao Lao Crocodile. Made 7.3 million. It's made 22.7 so far. And this is spoilers for the conversation it's about we're about to embark on. But I saw 3 films back to back. And of those 3 films, I don't know what this says a lot. Lao Lao Crocodile was the best of them.
So it's going to be in your top 10, right?
Yeah. Here's the thing about
You
Lao.
got a good choice to make this year for your top 10.
I
You got
do.
100 fucking movies.
Right. So here's the thing about Lao Lao Crocodile. It's very very formulaic and very basic and 100% predictable. But if you've got little kids, the songs are cute, the animation is kind of cute, and there's some pretty good performances in there. You know, it's for little kids. If you've got a family, whatever, I don't think it's that bad. It's okay. Like, I think it's at 73% on Rotten Tomatoes right now. That's probably slightly higher than I would give it, but I understand where it's coming from because it's totally harmless and cute. You know,
You also don't have a comparable movie in the list.
yeah, true.
Yeah, there's no kid movies really.
Yeah, and apparently it's based on a book or something.
Yeah, I was about to say it's based on like a kid's book or something. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, number 2 is Smile. It made 12.5 million. It's made 71.3 million so far. All right, so I saw this. I saw Smile. And I don't understand what is happening with this movie because Smile, it gets a bump from me in quality because it's the second movie, and the movie I saw before it I hated much more. But Smile reminds me of a 2008, 2010 era J-horror remake. Like, it has that aesthetic of like The Grudge or One Missed Call. Yeah, it has that aesthetic. You know, and people are actually saying, "Oh, it's surprisingly good." I'm like, where have what has happened to people? It's not that good.
Because you have a whole generation of people raised by jump scares.
Well, and also raised by
Shitty
Netflix
horror
originals.
films on Netflix, yeah.
Because I'm like, this might be better than your average Netflix original, but it's not that good. It's also not bad, but it's very also super formulaic. Like, there's a difference between startles and actual scare.
But
you know, you could startle somebody.
You got to take into context. We went almost 2 years without a movie like in theaters. So like a horror.
Yeah, but
movie
we've had like
theaters.
a dozen horror movies.
Yeah,
but yes,
there's been so many.
But they did really good marketing with Smile, and they pushed it.
I didn't see
really hard.
marketing.
Oh, I did. I agree with Nathan on the marketing.
They were pushing Smile on social media.
I had to watch the trailer for the goddamn black phone for 3 years.
Oh, hey guys, real quick, want to say hello to Vamp 3D. He says, "Hey guys, new member here. Can I get your opinion on?"
We're about to get into.
Halloween. We're going to get into that in just a second. We're going to get into that in just a second. But anyway, it is a bunch of startle scares. It's a bunch of CGI effects and you know, remember how I complained about how bad the fire effects looked in a fucking fire movie with Firestarter?
Yeah.
These fire effects were worse than that. Like, this looks like video game fire from 10 years ago.
At least it's not, based around fire.
Thank God. Yeah, I mean, this is a movie. It's, if you watch this streaming, you would be like, oh, it's better than most of the stuff that's out there. But for a big theatrical horror movie release, it's, it really feels like that. If you know those movies, if you know The Grudge and One Missed Call and that era of J-horror remake, that's what this movie feels like.
It's funny because you mentioned One Missed Call, and then I think of like what the plot is. I'm like, it's very similar to One Missed Call.
It is similar, yeah. Nathan, did you see it?
I haven't seen it yet, but I know it was getting such a huge push, and like it had filters on like social media platforms and stuff like that. So I'm thinking like the popularity or like the draw to it is definitely a younger generation.
For sure, because they don't know better. Well, they don't know what's good.
they haven't been served like true horror in a while. So
when they get it, they don't go.
Well, and
this movie's so dull. There's no jump scares. It's
and that's what I mean. That the younger people they spend most of their time streaming. So if you compare this to,
it comes at night.
Honestly, one of the things that I've been trying to talk the nephews into watching to try and like get them. Has a lot of jump scares, but it also has a lot of atmospheric and like full on terrifying moments. I want them to watch The Haunting of Hill House on Netflix.
I
Because
need
that
to go
has-
back and watch that.
That has jump scares for sure, like screaming out of the blue and all that stuff. But like, it also has scenes where it'll go on for like a full minute and a half. And Nico and I, the first time we saw it, we're like, ah!
But it's also a TV show, so it kind of builds in that you have to wait.
But right now,
Zach's-
the boys, if it's not gory or
Yeah.
jump scare heavy, they're just like, meh. Like, no, come on.
Well, and I have a
You know
hot
what?
take on that. What's the guy's name that did that movie, Haunting Hill House, that show?
like Mike Hannigan or something.
Flanagan?
Flanagan, yeah.
I have a hot take on that.
He's got a new
Let me
one
just-
out.
Let me just get a little closer.
Is it like
Overrated.
Midnight
Mike
Club?
Flanagan.
Midnight Club.
Sorry, Mike Flanagan is overrated. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
sure the Haunting of Hill House is fine and good. I'm sure it's good because people really love it. But I watched the other one
Midnight
and I
Mass.
liked it. Midnight Mass. I liked it. I'll never watch it again, but I liked it. I started watching Midnight Club, and I know we're dwelling into TV now. And I just got bored. It's not that it's particularly bad. I just kind of stopped. It's one of those things where it's not that it's bad, but it's not good enough to pull me back in. Right. I did start watching the Dahmer miniseries on Netflix, and that's actually better. It's creepier.
It's a lot creepier, but it's amazing to see with the Dahmer. Well, we'll talk about TV later.
Yeah, I got some things to say about the Dahmer, but again, we'll wait for TV.
Keeping it back to movies, you say Mike Flanagan's overrated. Dr. Sleep?
I didn't say everything. I mean, Dr. Sleep is really good. But
it's got problems. But
you know
good.
what? You know what? I really liked Dr. Sleep because I liked Rose the Hat. But have I rewatched it? No.
I have.
Have I rewatched The Shining?
It a couple of times.
Yes.
I do feel like I
do a double feature though. That's how I do
we've
it.
done double features. I do feel like they really need to capitalize more on Rose the Hat. Like, I understand spoilers for Dr. Sleep, she doesn't survive the movie, but I feel like there just should be more of an internet blitz of Rose the Hat because that was such a good character.
Yeah,
and she's so great in it. Like that. Like she's so
good.
good.
I mean, that's an example of a horror film that pissed people off because they killed the kid, and a horrifically murdered the kid.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I mean, people were shocked and pissed about it.
Yep.
So, okay, let's not do that. Let's just keep it with spooky jump scares.
Mm-hmm.
but it made y'all
You forgot what
smile.
horror is.
It made y'all smile. So you know what didn't make us smile? The #1 movie of the box office.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was trying to. You beat me to it.
All right. So number one
one
is Halloween Ends. It made $40 million.
Which you can also see on Peacock.
Yeah, and they're talking about how it did not hit expectations, and I'm like, well, what you released it simultaneously. Now I think Peacock doesn't have
for this.
There might be.
Yeah.
I don't think Peacock's live streaming has as much of an impact because I think their user base is pretty small still.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's also not in 4K. It's just a 1080p stream.
But it's a good way to hide the other reason why it might not be doing well.
Exactly. Which, all right. So if you see my letterbox, Nico, did you see my letterbox?
Yeah.
I commented on it.
We saw your letterbox.
Yeah, I gave it a half a star because it's the lowest rating I could give something and have it still count as a star rating. I hated it so bad.
I really wish I saw this movie.
Your pain right now is exquisite.
Oh, it's
Like, I thought nothing was worse than Jurassic World Dominion, and then this came out. And I was like,
Holy shit.
I was like, I will watch fucking Jurassic World Dominion again over the bullshit we were served.
Nathan's having a bad year. He's got 2 franchises he loves that just put out dog shit this year. With this one in Jurassic Park.
The boys are like, can we please go see Halloween Ends? And I'm like, I'm not paying money for that.
So can we talk about spoilers? Can we do that? I know you guys haven't seen it.
I don't care.
All right. So because what's interesting is
Evil dies tonight.
The director has come out. He's come out and said recently, because the backlash has been so heavy against this movie, he came out, I saw the other day, and said that he really wanted to create the same sort of vibe or aesthetic or whatever of the original 3.
No,
You know,
no.
where wait, let me finish what the comment was. The first one is traditional Michael Myers. The second one has Jamie Lee Curtis character Laurie in the hospital, and then the third one is like really off the rails different. But he didn't do that. The only way you could replicate the third film, he says he's trying to replicate the audience reaction, but it's not the same.
Wait,
people were not upset that the third film was bad. They were upset that it wasn't Michael Myers. There's a difference. People are mad now because this movie sucks balls.
Yeah, the first 3, people were not expecting it to be an anthology series. They were expecting more Michael Myers. And the fact that number 3 went in a completely different storyline, completely separated, that's what they were upset about. It was still a good movie.
I really liked your comment on Letterboxd, Steven. You said a line where usually in a long-running franchise, it's around the 6th or 7th film when it really goes off the rails, and not the third one. And I'm like, maybe, but this is like the third one, so I think it's okay.
So
like, it's not even. It's like Jamie Lee Curtis's 7th movie. It's ridiculous. This whole franchise is off the rails. It's
that was also like her characterization was drastically different than what she was.
It was completely changed
in the previous movie, and you just don't expect. Is even in the 4-year or whatever time jump they had. You just don't expect that out of a person doesn't change that drastic for it to go that severe to that. Not to mention, they took a lot of liberties with evil. And I get the evil aspect of it and how it's the shape and how evil takes shape in different forms and blah, blah, blah.
So let's just synopsize this really quick. Because here's the thing, Nico, that quote or that line that you read from my Letterboxd was me trying to say something without spoiling, because what I really wanted to say is this movie is less like Halloween 3 and more like Friday the 13th, The New Beginning.
Oh no.
And that would spoil the movie essentially, because if you know Friday the 13th, The New Beginning, it's not Jason in that movie, it's a copycat killer. And that's pretty much what the first hour, this is like an hour 55, it's like the first hour and 30 minutes of this movie is not Jason, it's not Michael, it's his copycat killer.
And the transfer of evil, like...
Well, but see, I think people are reading that wrong.
Or is it more like the final Friday?
Yeah, with the worm coming out, blah, blah,
yeah, he's like...
Well, okay, so here's the setup. Here's what it is. Because I know what Nathan is getting at, the transfer. I don't think that was a transfer of evil. So basically what happens is you have this kid who accidentally kills... He's like a teenager, or he's about to go into college. He accidentally kills a...
kid he's babysitting.
Yeah. And... he doesn't go to jail or anything because it was purely an accident, but the town like shuns him. And we get these lines in there where it's like it happened during the time that Michael had disappeared, so they needed a new evil to hate, so they took all of that out on this kid, right?
Well, on multiple evils, there was multiple things that happened in the town.
Yeah. And you have all of these weird interactions where the movie just stops. Like they're developing this guy, they're building him up as like somebody who's been driven crazy, but like they'll stop at random for someone to just hate on him and say, oh, look what you did, you're terrible, blah blah blah. And then they were doing the same thing to Jamie Lee Curtis's character. Like she's getting groceries, but then she gets stopped for a quick scene where people say, you teased Michael Myers and you caused him to kill. And I'm like, wait, she did what? Yeah, that's in the movie. That's in the movie. That is in the movie. Like you teased him into killing, you know.
You
it's
antagonized him into doing this. Yeah,
it's such a weird.
I'm sorry. Is this whole movie victim blaming and shit like that?
Yeah. I called the first hour of this movie, at least the first 30 minutes of it, awkward scenes of the movie, because there's these awkward interactions that just halt the movie, and the acting is bad, and then it's like the characters run out of lines and they stop talking, and there's a 2 or 3 beats where they don't cut, and I'm like, what are we doing? And it happens over and over again in the first 30 minutes, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now?
And it happens consistently throughout the film. You just notice
it does. It continues. Yeah,
it continues throughout the film. For me though, and when I say like the transfer of evil, the kid in question. That's this new.
Oh wait! Before you let me get to what the transfer of evil you're talking about is, because so what happens is this kid, he ends up down in the sewer. You see this in the trailers where this kid is in the sewer, and Michael Myers, we learn, has been in the sewer under Haddonfield the entire 4 years, and he's all burned up from when he got burned, but he's weakened. Now, in the first 2 movies, we didn't get this sort of paranormal vibe to Michael Myers, other than the fact that he survives a lot of killing. But apparently, what he's doing is killing homeless people to rejuvenate himself. Now, at first I was okay with it. Because I thought, we've seen Michael Myers kill an animal for food before. And I'm like, maybe he's killing these people and eating them. But that's not the case. We learned that when this kid finds his way down there. Michael Myers has him picked up. He's choking him. He's got him in a traditional Michael Myers mode where he's picking him up and choking him out. He's about to kill him. But then somehow he sees everything this kid has been through. It's like a weird, he has a vision where he sees a montage of the kid as a babysitter and how he accidentally killed the other kid and how he's tormented. He sees all of it.
It's like the suppressed pain,
and then lets him go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he
I'm
lets
done.
him go. Yeah,
Stop.
He lets the kid go.
I'm
right?
done.
And then somehow,
no, I said stop.
Wait. Oh, so somehow the kid intuits at this point that he needs to go and bring a couple more victims to Michael so that he can rejuvenate to full power.
No,
serial killer.
But it wasn't just that. The kid, I guess, had buried or was suppressing so much of the bullying, the guilt, and all that. After Michael, it was like a 2-part transition. Like Michael could see this kid's thing, but then Michael also transferred a power into this kid. That
I disagree with that. I don't think he transferred power to him.
You saw it when right after he got out of the sewer and the first homeless man that walked up to him, and then he just lost it. And then when he's talking to
and he killed the kid, killed the guy. Yeah.
Then when he's talking to the granddaughter, something's wrong with me. I feel different. Like he's
definitely changed. He's definitely changed. But we see a part later. We see a comedic part later where he's going to kill somebody and they lock the sliding door on him and he's sitting there kicking it like a child. He's having a tantrum because he can't get through the glass. And I'm like, he's not powerful like Michael.
Also, Lori also noticed the difference in the kid because she had an interaction with the kid too. And
that
it was
pissed me off too.
Then she was like, wait, I see Michael in his eyes now, which she did not see in a previous interaction.
All of a sudden, Laurie Strode has the power to intuit. Like she has the power to just see evil in people, and she sees it in him.
Dr. Loomis line of "I looked into his eyes and I saw pure evil."
I would really prefer. I would really prefer if you would stop talking. Because I hate.
This is why I told you in the pre-show. You don't know. You don't know.
Because this is what the entire post 2 franchise pretty much is really screwed up about Michael Myers. It's like, stop explaining it.
No. The reason he's as terrifying as he is there's no reason why he's doing that.
And
it's the stupid thing the Rob Zombie movies did.
I'll tell you this. Most of the kills are not done by Michael Myers.
Okay, so what is the biggest failure of a slasher movie?
Having shitty kills.
1, having shitty kills, and 2, not killing anybody for nearly an hour of runtime.
Oh, you serious?
57 minutes before the first kill happens, other than the accidental kill right at the beginning.
Man. No, it can't be
57 minutes.
Then. It can't.
So we get all of this character building. So basically, this kid is being turned into like the new beginning. He's fucking. He even says to Michael. He physically says to Michael, "I want you to teach me." He says it to him. Like
what
Michael's gonna fucking. Yeah, he says it to him.
Like
he's gonna answer
or some shit.
Yes.
Well, and that's the thing too. You get a whole different character development of Lori on where she's at now. You get a whole different.
She's making pies now.
You get a whole different character development of the granddaughter. You get they're showing the characters we've seen in the previous 2 films, and they're completely different. Like
exactly, like they're the whole first hour. A lot of it is built up on. What is her name? Marilyn, the granddaughter. It's kind of like a Badlands. If you've seen Badlands, it's or Natural Born Killers. It's like the whole thing is about him, this new guy, Corey or Casey or whatever his name is, connecting with her, and they start dating because she sees a victim of the town.
You have
and
a
they
little
start
bit
to
of Halloween 5 in there with the yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So they go back and forth between talking about burning the town down or leaving. Like that's happening. And then we still have the continuation from the second film of the cop trying to romance Laurie Strode. That's happening. By the way, the only good scenes, the only good 2-shot scenes in the movie are between the two of them in this one, because you've got two really good actors that are doing good work with what little they have.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only time the romancy kind of stuff works. But it feels like because there's two romances being built up in the first hour, there's no kills.
I think Zach is having an existential crisis.
I want to get off Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Okay,
well,
yeah.
And can I just also say too?
Yeah,
the whole interaction when we do get to Laurie versus Michael, it was so like, there even within the previous movies there was more of a power struggle. There was no like Laurie dominated the entire freaking time pretty much, and that is just not something that is realistic to the franchise in any imagination.
Agreed.
No matter how weak Michael is, we've seen Michael get shot, get back up, keep going. We've seen all this stuff before.
Well, when you take in consideration that the other films don't exist, we have seen Michael get stabbed in the chest.
I'm just
his
talking
eye
about
poked out, and
I'm just
Laurie
talking about the first
barely survive.
I'm just talking about the first. Well, I'm going to go specifically the first 2 Halloween movies ever. Okay,
Two doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's what the one thing you got to remember is the way this franchise was set. The hospital one doesn't exist. Yeah,
but
the original one.
It was still the characterization of Michael was still there. Like the iteration of Michael was still there.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll give you the point that in Halloween Kills they showed him to be an unstoppable machine.
Yeah, he killed a whole crowd of people.
He was able to kill a lady by kicking a car door to where the gun shot herself in the fucking head.
Well, and there was another. We do get a character that point blank did die. She's back in this.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
She point blank died in the previous film. Like point blank died, and she's magically back. Just can't.
You talking about the lady in the wheelchair?
Yes.
Is that the lady who shot herself in the head?
No.
Damn.
No.
So,
It's remember the yes. Yes.
Well, go ahead and finish up this, and then I gotta ask you a question.
Okay. It's the wife, the guy that got stabbed over and over again on the table. And then,
fuck off. She took a whole thing to the throat.
Yeah. Well, no, she's alive. And she's the one that her and her friend are the one that stopped Laurie Strode come out of the grocery store.
Her sister.
To tell her about what a bad person she is. Even though she's the one who fucking did the best job of killing Michael Myers. So the one thing I will say is that if the movie were good, that I would really appreciate is that the marketing that we got for the movie, all that stuff, like the showdown stuff that's in the trailers and the commercials, that's not in the movie.
Yeah, wait, what do you mean the showdown that's in the trailers? Yeah, it is.
No, not the way it is in the trailer.
I saw a post on Reddit to where it's like all these shots in the trailer are not in the film.
It's not the same. And the part where she's like, like fucking come get me or whatever. No, no. I'm talking about if you go back and look at the original trailer, there's a scene where she's against a wall and Michael Myers pops up in the doorway behind her, and then they cut to her going, "Come get me" or something like that. That stuff doesn't happen in the movie. It doesn't. Look at the trailer.
Motherfucker.
That one. Look at the trailer again, and you'll see it's not the same. They completely, because that trailer feels like she's setting up for a big battle with him, and then they have their showdown. That's not at all how it happens in the movie. It does happen, but it's not like that. Like she never says in the movie, "Come get me, motherfucker." That's not there.
So it's very obvious that I'm not gonna watch this film, especially this weekend. What can I watch, Steven?
What can we watch this weekend?
Oh, somebody be rushing us along. Me and Nathan be dying to talk about this shit.
50-minute mark, it is not rushing along.
I know.
I don't know. It's Halloween. We talked about it for 35 minutes last year.
Nathan, well, let me get Nathan. Do you have a final thought on this movie?
Avoid it like the plague. Actually, get COVID before you watch this.
Damn.
Yeah,
Avoid this
it's
movie
bad,
more
you
than
guys.
Worse than COVID. Nathan Savino.
Yeah, this movie.
2022.
I want that on a shirt. Halloween Ends is worse than COVID.
I mean, I'll
Also-
I'll go through another pandemic to avoid this shit.
I want to ask a question. What was the movie? Which Scream movie was it where Neve Campbell's character at the end of it, and there's a resolution, and she leaves the house? You know, it's kind of sepia, and she kind of just leaves and leaves the door open. Do you know what I'm talking? 3. Okay, that scene's in this movie. That scene is the end of this movie.
Fuck off!
It's exactly what happens with Laurie Strode. It's the exact same scene. Like, she leaves, and then there's these beautiful shots of the inside of her house with sepia light coming in the windows. It's the same shot. It's exactly what I thought. I'm like, but it's a Scream. It's Scream. It's so bad, you guys. Anyway, if you want to watch something this weekend, you can see Black Adam. It is at 55%, which is exactly what everybody anticipated it to be. Ticket to Paradise is opening at 63%. Also,
But apparently, Ticket to Paradise is doing really well overseas.
Apparently,
I think it's going to open big and then fizzle because it's got big actors in it.
Yeah.
If you want to see
Apparently,
something
the
good,
hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change.
Clearly,
if you want to see something good, Triangle of Sadness opens up this week.
Triangle
It's
of
at
Sadness,
72%.
I want to see that. And it's more of a limit. Or is it wide? Is it
It's wide.
Okay. Yeah, I want to see
Did
that.
you, you see Tar yet?
No.
I didn't see Tar yet. It hasn't opened wide yet. I'm waiting for it to go like
It is in the
so I
Belfort.
can use. Yeah, I know, but I want to use my Regal Unlimited.
Oh, okay.
Fair.
In this case, because you kind of don't care. I kinda
Oh my
get
gosh.
that.
So Vamp 3D said he would rather watch the Truth or Dare movie.
Reasonable. That's reasonable.
I mean,
I saw
watch
Smile after this one, and I was like, oh, Smile's not that bad.
Speaking of something that's coming soon,
Yeah.
apparently Dawn of the Dead, the original 1978 film,
Yeah, it's getting a 3D release.
it's getting a 3D re-release.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
would love to see that in a theater. Why the fuck would I have to sit through it in 3D?
Apparently, because I am in the know on this situation, this is not the first time. This movie has had a 3D transfer from a long time ago, and it is just being reissued.
Even worse.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
we get a film ball update?
Oh.
Yeah,
I
can we
would
do that?
if people would shut the fuck up.
It's okay. You can say fuck on the internet. It's okay. Your mom's not listening.
Well, she's always listening because she's dead.
Oh,
Oh,
It's okay. She's too
Zach.
busy getting fucked by me.
happy Halloween.
All
right,
right,
go.
The film ball update in 5th place with a big old goose egg, which that'll change, is Nico with $0.
Yep. Someone's got to bring up the rear.
Me.
That's usually Nathan. Yeah.
Not this time.
In 4th place with $10.4 million is me. In 3rd place with $24.4 million is Steven.
I got that Black Adam money coming, baby.
You do have Black Adam coming.
Yeah.
In 2nd place is no longer in the 1st place position. Zach sitting in 2nd place with $56.5 million.
It's okay. I'll get
And then
back in.
in 1st with $127.7 million is Nathan.
Now, I know you're not used to being a top, but how does it feel?
I mean, I'm a good verse.
I mean, you have three movies really to thank for this. You have the Avatar re-release, you have Smile, and you have Barbarian. Those are relatively
And you haven't
Mostly
put in the Halloween
Barbarian.
numbers yet.
You know,
right?
Yeah,
I
no, it's a
remember
week
some
behind.
bitch ass being like, "Why would you get Avatar? It's a re-release."
Yeah, why would you do a re-release? There's no money in
that's
that.
not where my money's coming from, though.
most of your money is coming from, let me get to it.
I was about to say,
Smile.
but you didn't pay a lot for it.
Yeah,
you got it
Smile, you are getting currently $58.7 million. It's making up 46%.
And we're still
After
a
that,
week
Barbarian.
behind.
Yeah,
We're
we're still a week behind.
We're still a week behind, and let me factor too. We're about to go into Halloween weekend. I would see a little number increase probably from those.
Yeah, I mean, granted, after Ticket to Paradise has its 4-week run, you're pretty much tapped out.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
gonna end up in third.
But you have still pulling in money. You have Smile, Bros, and then Halloween Ends and Ticket to Paradise. So you're gonna see a big jump here in the next 2-3 weeks for sure.
Ooh.
So if you're new to what we're doing here with Fantasy Film Ball, basically what this is a game that we play every 4 months. We get 100 virtual bucks to bid on movies that are coming out in that block of time to see which ones we think are going to make the highest box office. We actually do it over 4 weeks, and then we just smack talk each other until we get our box office totals in at the end of that quarter. Our next game is in January. We'll be doing something right at the 1st of January, maybe the end of December. We got to figure that out. So we would love to pull in a listener or two. It would be fun. So you got to stay with us here on the show, and we'll put the invite out when it gets closer. It's really fun. We actually have a trophy. Doesn't matter who has that trophy right now. It's not important.
Sitting on my bedside.
As long as you don't fucking break it.
It's sitting on my bedside table so I can look at it every night before I go to sleep.
Zach, stop masturbating with it.
Who's
I was gonna say, poor KJ. She's like what, third in the relationship?
Well,
fourth if you count the cats.
I mean, if my memory,
it's nice to have somebody watch. You know?
Isn't that statue 6 inches? So you're used to.
Yeah, it's a bit wide at the top. You're supposed to start...
you're more of a length guy. You don't really like the girth. Is that, is that what we're hearing?
Girth is at the bottom.
All I know is
it's a flared base.
I was gonna say that trophy has a weird shape. It's gonna get you coming and going.
We gotta be all inclusive here.
Gotta be sterilized before we take it back.
I was gonna say it's almost like I don't want to win the next film ball block because I don't want that trophy.
I will take that trophy before I watch Halloween Ends again.
Right,
okay, fair enough. I would do that too. All right, so let's we're gonna actually jump around a little bit. We're gonna do Tina's story.
All right. So Kenneth Branagh has set another A-list ensemble for his next Agatha Christie adaptation with Kyle Allen, Jamie Dornan, Tina Fey, Michelle Yeoh, and more joining the cast of A Haunting in Venice by 20th Century. Branagh is set to reprise his role as Inspector Hercule Poirot and will also return to direct. Michael Green adapted the script, which is based off of Agatha Christie's Halloween Party. Currently, production is underway at Pinewood Studios outside of London. It's set in an eerie post-World War II Venice on All Hallows Eve. So Hercule Poirot, who's now retired and living in a self-imposed exile in the world's most glamorous city, reluctantly attends a seance at a decaying haunted palazzo. One of the guests is murdered. Time to find out who did it. A Haunting in Venice, the studio's third film based on a novel by Agatha Christie, reunites the team of filmmakers behind 2017's Murder on the Orient Express, 2022's Death on the Nile. Branagh, Green, producer Judy Hoffman, executive producers Louise Killen and James Pritchard, along with filmmakers Ridley Scott, Simon Kinberg, and Mark Gordon.
It's amazing to me they keep making these movies because they don't have a good track record.
Yeah, I'm very fascinated. I mean, I feel like these were just entirely Kenneth Branagh passion projects.
Yeah, I'm suspecting that he's an Agatha Christie nut.
It's like every time he makes like a Belfast or just something like that, it's like, all right, Kenneth, you can go make another Hercule Poirot movie. Go have fun over there.
Because you notice he hasn't made a single Miss Marple movie.
And you know what? I'm fine with that. If he's going to make a movie like Belfast and then go make a Murder on the Orient Express, I'm fine with that because Belfast is amazing.
See, but the thing is, y'all are forgetting that Death on the Nile made $137 million.
Profit. I mean, what was the budget?
Let's not talk about that.
I mean, then it didn't make that much money. That's
the budget
the
was
thing.
$90 million.
Well, it made a little money. It made horror movie money.
But it was also a movie that was bifurcated by the pandemic. So its true budget probably is ballooned out of that.
You know what really sucks about these movies? They shot them on 70 millimeter. So they look fucking amazing outside of the CG.
I was going to say, do they? Because I saw Murder on the Orient Express in theater and that CG was awful.
The CG is bad. I'm talking about like quality of picture image.
Yeah. Yeah, oh no. And they always get an amazing cast.
Yeah.
What's that, Tina?
The costumes are also really pretty too.
Yeah. I mean, like Death on the Nile, I thought was a bad movie, but there was a lot of visual eye candy. There was a lot to look at, you know. So, it's bad. I don't know. Tina, will you end up seeing it? Because I know this is your jam.
Absolutely.
Ain't my
This
thing.
is 100% my jam. You know, and add on top of that a spooky element. I'm just waiting for Kenneth Branagh to kill off Hercule Poirot so you can get a 70, 80-year-old woman solving crimes. Like, that's what I want.
All
I
right.
want the town gossip solving crimes. Bring me
that
Miss
would
Marple.
be fun. Speaking of your jam, Nico, you have a story.
Yeah, Netflix is going to theaters with Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery. The new whodunit movie starring Daniel Craig reprising his role from Knives Out, also written and directed by Ryan Johnson. Glass Onion was originally set and is still set to come to Netflix this December, but it will get a run in about 600 theaters in the U.S. between November 23rd and November 29th. So you get a week run in AMC, Regal, and Cinemark theaters. So it's going to be doing it before it hits Netflix. So there's less. It's not competition. It's not going to be a Halloween situation. But theaters will likely help turn the film more into an event. So hopefully drum up some more anticipation for the movie once it actually hits the streaming service. Tina, you going to see that one?
Absolutely. if it is a who done it, I will be there 10 minutes into the movie being like, he done it.
She will.
Well, I'm going to see it.
With these things, man.
I like it.
A great cast. So
I like it when we read whodunit books together or at the same time, and
I will write down, like, I will close the book. And
my God.
Chapter 3 or 4, I will write down who did it, their motivation, like everything, and I'll put it in an envelope so that when he's done, I'll be like, here was my prediction in chapter 3. And he's like, God damn it.
So we shouldn't play Clue with Tina.
Clue. Okay, so I'm good at figuring out who did it in Clue. I'm really bad at moving across the board.
Yeah, the problem with Clue is there's no actual like narrative to Clue. It's all random who did it. So it's not like following clues in Clue really helps.
And people are assholes, and I'm trying to get to a specific room, and they're like, "Oh, it's this person," and I'm like, "No, stop moving me."
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy they're putting it on theater. I think we should all actually go see it because we need to teach Netflix a lesson about how there's money to be made.
Do I have to?
Yeah, you probably should.
I didn't like Knives Out.
Let's be honest.
I thought it was all right. I liked it.
Let's be honest. Daniel Craig had one of the best monologues in Knives Out with Benoit Blanc talking about donut holes. I need another donut hole rant. I need that.
I question his accent though.
That's what makes
I
it
still don't stand by that.
He apparently got an accent coach for this one, so
yeah.
We'll see how it holds up.
I'm fully expecting the
Foghorn Leghorn.
Thank you, Foghorn Leghorn accent to be duller.
I don't think it should be. I think it should go fuller.
Okay, so if it went fuller, I would support that. Let's just go full on. I would support that.
Lean into it.
The cartoon.
Yeah.
All right, Nathan, you got a story for us?
I do. We are about to get a resurrection of a DC character. Warner Brothers will develop another installment of the 2005 supernatural thriller Constantine. And the studio is reteaming with star Keanu Reeves and director Francis Lawrence, who made his helming debut on the original. Akiva Goldsman will write the screenplay and produce the project. And yeah, it opened 17 years ago it grossed over 200 million in 2005 box office dollars worldwide. So we are going to be getting a Constantine sequel pretty much.
I don't understand why this took so long. And it's not that movie is so good. I mean, it's not. I can't remember. I remember liking it because I like Keanu Reeves.
It's got good bits because it's got like Tilda Swinton is really good in it as a bad guy. Like Rachel Rice is in it. Peter Stormare as like Satan is really cool.
I was
Like,
about to say, I remember his performance being really good.
yeah,
As-
it's got really strong bits, and Keanu Reeves he's okay, but it's like everything happens around him that's really good.
Yeah, the thing about this movie is it was made in the era where the studios were making the superhero movies instead of the people who were fans of it making the superhero movies.
It's less of it's definitely that early 2000s like Daredevil era of like a studio took what they understand the general concept of the property to be and made a movie without really going detailed in. But it was okay. I think your point about why they're getting to it, I'm really especially puzzled because it's Warner Brothers making this. And they just did the nostalgia Keanu Reeves grab with Matrix.
Yeah.
And that also bombed. So I don't know why they're trying to do it again.
As long as they don't do the weird de-aging thing, if they could do like a time jump where
I think they'll definitely do that.
Yeah,
I think they'll definitely do that.
It's going to be like modern day. It's not going to be like
but as long as they don't try to de-age him like they've done with like Will Smith in previous movies and
here's the weird thing, and I don't know, maybe this is a weird feeling about this movie, but I think this making a sequel to Constantine is less of a risk than making a sequel to The Matrix was.
Yeah.
Because Constantine is kind of a mediocre movie to begin with, but it's a character a lot of people like with a group of actors that a lot of people like.
It didn't have a massive cult behind it like Matrix.
You could go back and do a good movie now.
Yeah.
Whereas The Matrix is, a groundbreaking moment that was a slow downhill trend in all the movies. So making a fourth one was really risky, and we see how that went.
Your best bet for doing the Matrix sequel is to be the best Matrix sequel, not to top or even meet the Matrix.
Yeah.
That's the problem with going back to that well. But you're right. Constantine's like, they can actually make a better movie of this.
And people have a better understanding of those kind of comic books now than they did back then.
Yeah, let's face it. They also have the added bonus of, is this going to tie into the universe, the multiverse, the da-da-da-da-da?
Oh, God, I hope not.
Well, I mean, and the other thing is...
You might not like it, but they might be trying to play off of that because they saw how Marvel did it. And they see the kind of response that people are getting from DC trying to do that.
But on that, the word I'm hearing from DC, like the DC EU or whatever, is that they're kind of changing gears and focusing on one-offs more.
Yeah, because the hierarchy of the DC universe is about to change.
They might as well just focus on one-offs.
But it also makes sense.
I don't know. I'm interested.
The Constantine character has on the peripherals still been around.
Yeah.
Like you had the character's failed show, a CBS show, still parlay into continued CW existence for several seasons of Legends. And then you also have the Joanna Constantine, which is still the same character is essentially on Sandman. So they have some sort of cultural awareness that they are still able to pull from when they revisit this well.
And they'll probably do this like I hate to say this, but it's what they're going to do. They'll probably do this like a PG kind of horror movie a little bit more than they would do it as a superhero thing, which I think would be fine. I think
plus it's probably cheap. It's probably not that expensive.
Yeah, probably so. I'm here for it. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. So let's move on to some TV. I think we'll just do the talk about the shows and skip the story if that's okay with everybody.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. So Nico, I know, and I both finished She-Hulk. I actually finished it as well.
Never watched it.
I watched about 5 minutes of the final episode because I heard some shit that I couldn't believe and had to see it for myself.
So really quick, in the chat we have please don't tie Constantine to the DC universe. Just make it a standalone sequel to the original. And I 100% agree.
That's what I would love for them to do. I don't have confidence.
Honestly,
that they're not
whatever they could do to distance it away from Ezra Miller.
Yeah. The only thing that I've heard now is we know that Henry Cavill's coming back officially for another Superman movie, which I think is great. I'm fine with because I liked him as Superman. His movies just could have been better.
Yeah.
and now the Rock is pushing for a Black Adam versus Superman, which I'm also okay with, but I think there's other things in the comics that they could do more, like a Shazam versus Superman would be kind of cool. But
that's
whatever.
the thing, though. Billy Batson wouldn't want to fight him. He'd be like, "Hi."
Well,
they kind of have set it up that way.
That was the post-credit scene of Shazam. That's already
exactly.
But yeah,
She-Hulk. So She-Hulk, and we've talked about this. It's so weird because we did talk about this briefly in that, like, I watched a couple of episodes just to see what it was about, and I didn't feel like it was a show for me, and I was fine with that. But boy, it's just good. It's been good, kind of just background thing to have on, you know? Yeah. I don't like it enough to sit down and focus on it and all that, but I like it. I like the actress enough. Like, she's interesting and fun enough that I can just put it on while I'm doing stuff around the house, and it's and it's good. I have thoughts about this ending, but I really want to hear what Nico has to say before I get into it.
I really came into it because I wondered what your thoughts were going to be. It was the meta nature of the ending and how very timely it is, just how it connects to the MCU in so many ways. I had so much fun. Tina was watching me watch the last episode. I was giggling my ass off the entirety of the episode.
He had headphones on and he was like on his laptop, and I was in bed reading or something, and I just hear and I'm like, shut the fuck
up. But no, I really enjoyed it. I think handled a lot of the. It is a weirdly mature comedy show because it is a it's a legal comedy. They even joke about how that is what it is. The episode before this one, which is the before the last one, which is the Daredevil episode that's been built up the entire season. For one, Daredevil is not a cameo appearance. He is the guest star of the episode. It is in it pretty much the whole episode, and
there's a cameo appearance in the last episode,
in the last one too. And I was impressed with how much they actually had Daredevil in Charlie Cox's character. Like, he was on screen and doing stuff.
I do want to say about that, and I know a lot of people are like, "Shut up," but his costume looked like dog shit to me.
I know. I agree. I think this is the place to have it. I don't think it's going to be the costume that they have in the show in Daredevil.
I don't mind the yellow. It's just this particular way they had it looked like he got sprayed with a bunch of mustard.
And they make the jokes about it. I think this is a perfectly fine costume for the kind of tone that they were going for the show, because they take the opportunity to make fun of it.
I just like the fact that you're making fun of a blind man's outfit.
Right?
Well, that's the other funny thing too, is this is the one that's designed by a fashion designer, whereas the other one wasn't. And it's just like, really? This is what you come up with? I liked it. I liked a lot of the meta humor. I think if we're talking about the last episode in specific, I think the time that they're kind of in the middle, fourth wall broken situation could have been tightened a little. Like, I think it could have been shortened. But when they were talking about, you need to go talk to this person who's the head of the MCU, and I'm like, what? Really? We're okay. and I was just like, okay, this is hilarious. And when she literally broke the fourth wall, and I see people go, I thought the show stopped, and it kicked me to a menu screen. Like,
I thought that too. When it looked like it got kicked to a menu, I was like, wait, I literally picked up my remote.
And I was just thinking, first thought is that. Second thought is, oh, that's hilarious. Third thought, whenever Disney Plus goes through a redesign, are they going to go back and edit this episode to match, or is it just going to always look like this?
Probably.
I don't think they'll go through that effort. But no, I think it was fun. It was a good representation of the character, of like every bit of She-Hulk runs that I've read, that is just simply the character being this lawyer comedy drama that is only tangentially related to superheroics. They captured that feel spot on. It's just a good fun time. You do not need to watch this for
Uh-oh.
That's exactly.
Frozen.
You do not need to watch this.
Is he coming back? Oh,
No,
look,
he's
he's
back.
like,
Go back.
oh, there you
You
are.
guys froze.
Did I
He's
cut
back.
out? Oh, sorry.
You
I
froze.
was saying you do not need to watch it to like the WandaVision situation. Like you lose parts of understanding Doctor Strange if you don't know what happened with Wanda. And well, this isn't that problem. This is not going to be a setup. Maybe there's a slight stinger.
I was going to say, I'll disagree with that. It's definitely a setup for other stuff.
Here's the one thing I won't say is really a problem with the show, but it's definitely just further solidifies the MCU's take
on the Hulk,
on not
being
She-Hulk, but
comedic.
on the Hulk.
Bruce Banner as being
Banner
like
Hulk.
a joke.
He is a comedy character going forward. It's like this is pretty much the take that the franchise has decided from Thor Ragnarok onward, is that this character is slapstick, is not going to be a serious dramatic character. And the movie ends with a stinger of like, oh, I'm the Hulk, and it's like, I know this character. I know the character they just introduced. I'm very well aware of the storyline, but
You
way
can
you're
say it.
doing
We're in
this-
spoiler territory at this point.
Yeah,
the
Scar.
is the son of the Hulk that Hulk gets on the planet of Sakaar during the Planet Hulk storyline, which Thor Ragnarok kind of rips off. We know through the course of the show that Bruce Banner Hulk has to go to space for some reason. And he comes back and he's like, oh, hey, everybody, here's my Hulk-like son. And I'm like, okay, the MCU is never going to take Hulk seriously as a character. I get it. I've made peace with it. I really like.
I hate it because he's got such a good dramatic actor playing the role.
Yeah, I also hate it because I loved when Mark Ruffalo in the first two Avengers movies.
It kind of like destroys one of the scenes in Age of Ultron when him and Nat are in the farmhouse talking, and he's like, "I can't have these kids," and he comes with a fucking kid. I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Well,
I feel like they can skirt that issue by being on an alien planet.
Yeah, but no,
they'll figure it out.
One of the things that irked me when that was leaked, is people were like, "Oh, is this how they're going to introduce Hulkling?" And I'm like, absolutely not. Hulkling isn't a Hulk, despite the name. But everybody's like, "Oh, they're trying to introduce Hulkling," and I'm like, no.
One thing
is a completely different character.
One thing I also want to rave about this show, though, real quick, is the opening to the last episode was just so flippin' fun.
I can't remember what the opening was.
It's the 70s Incredible Hulk opening.
Oh, yeah, I love that, but I was like, how many people are going to get this joke?
I don't care. I got this joke. It was me.
Yeah.
I got it and I loved it. I tried to look it up and I didn't find it at the time. So anyone who is listening or watching, is if you're familiar with the Bill Bixby 1978 The Incredible Hulk TV show, or late 70s at least, and then subsequent TV movies. It has a very iconic opening sequence that She-Hulk completely copies in its last episode.
All the way down to like the rain and storm sequence. When he's outside in the rain or whatever.
And unlike the rest of the show where She-Hulk, and when that character is on screen, it's a CGI persona, they actually get an actress to be like the Lou Ferrigno version of that She-Hulk. And I meant to look it up and I to see who it is. But
I believe that actress is, I think that actress is actually the motion capture person for She-Hulk.
Oh, that's great. That's fantastic.
Because they have she's like tall as hell. She's like 6'8" or something. A woman who does the motion capture for the character for their CGI work. I saw her.
Yeah, there's a picture of her and Tatiana, and like Tatiana's here and she's
Tatiana's like 5'4" or something. Yeah.
It's hilarious.
So here's my thing about it. I understand that the She-Hulk breaks the fourth wall and all this stuff. And my emotions are so mixed on it because at one point I think it's brilliant for a few reasons. And another point, I think this is stupid. And I only think it's stupid because with all the jokes, all the in-jokes, all the like references and all that stuff, it still has to be a complete thought of an episode and of a series. And I feel like it goes so far into breaking the fourth wall in the last episode, it forgets to be a complete thought as an episode. Now, the way that story was being set up, and you could tell something was going on because they were rushing to the climactic battle, and it just didn't feel right when they got to it. And of course, then it doesn't happen. Now, the part that I think is brilliant is that whole last few minutes of the episode was in a lot of ways meant to troll fanboys. Like, you could just see they had answers for so many things that they knew were coming. This was shot a while ago, and they had answers for a lot of the negative feedback that they were going to get on social media about the show. And for that, I love it, because it's like, hey, fuck you. We're doing what we want to do here. We've got to do something different. We can't just keep doing the same type of show and movie every time, which they're still doing in the theaters, by the way. I love it for that. But at the same time, I don't think it's a complete episode. It doesn't have a complete arc, and story-wise, I completely disconnected from it because of that.
I agree. I do agree with a lot of that. I think, like I said, the middle bit, when it's the fourth wall broken situation and they're in She-Hulk goes into the real world, basically. That drags on a little bit long, and then once she comes back, it zooms by really quickly, and I feel
it's like a Scooby-Doo ending.
I would have. It is exactly a Scooby-Doo ending. I would have cut more of the middle and expanded on showing how they actually had their real ending develop. But in terms of the lead-in about how they had that rushed ending, how you're talking about how it feels like everything's just trying to come together in this neat bow and then they kind of like, it feels rushed. And it's like, yes, because it was, and then they pulled the rug out from under you. I think that part, that third, really was really well done. I enjoyed how that part transitioned.
Yeah. So I got a question for you. Out of She-Hulk and Hawkeye, which one do you think?
Which one do I think is the best MCU show right now?
Yeah.
For me.
I think I'll give it to Hawkeye still. I think Hawkeye is a more solid product. But the thing is, there were also... Hawkeye is a straight-up MCU product. It is what is plainly on the cover. She-Hulk is trying to be its own thing while playing with those same toys. So it is really hard to compare. But definitely, Hawkeye, She-Hulk are the cream of the crop right now.
The thing is, though, is Hawkeye strikes a better balance of being funny, but still telling a complete story. I feel like She-Hulk just sort of knocks elbows with stories. It nothing is really deep story-wise. Nothing has any really real meaning. It's just here's her on a date, and that could be a good story, but we're not going to do it. We're going to go into a joke. It's like there are potential like cool things to follow. They just never go for it. They're too busy being ready to step out of it for a joke.
So they're taking the Taika Waititi approach.
Not nearly as
kind of, but it's different kind of humor. Yeah. It's a different kind of humor for sure.
I think the thing is, it's more of a TV show, whereas Hawkeye is more of a mini series, basically. That is this continuing thing. Like She-Hulk we have a legal dramedy, a comedy drama that we are a sitcom. It's more of a sitcom.
Everybody keeps saying it's a legal comedy, and the legal part of it is so minor. It's such a minor.
It is, but it's very Ally McBeal-esque. Like I mean, given.
Well, that's what I compared it to from the beginning. Yeah,
I haven't watched Ally McBeal since it was airing, but from what I recall, it feels very similar in a lot of respects. I think it's the most sitcom-y of the MCU shows right now.
For sure.
Each show has enough content that stands on its own, but it's got an undercurrent. There's enough thread that weaves it together. That's, I think, the best way to put it is it's an MCU sitcom.
So Hawkeye real quick, has anybody seen a show called Station 11? They're asking about this in the chat.
No.
I'm not aware of the show.
I've been meaning to read the book, but I
think it came out in 2021.
Yeah. The book got a lot of real
show is good
praise, and so the TV series has been blowing up on Book Talk and stuff for like the past year.
Any other shows? We probably I talked about She-Hulk enough.
I've been watching, and I know a lot of people haven't seen this yet. The Chucky series that's been going on.
I haven't seen it yet. Yeah,
Season 2 started.
Is it good?
I'm loving season 2 more than season 1.
All right. Well, on that note, there is one other show we were going to talk about, but I'm glad we can push it because I haven't watched it yet, and that's Werewolf by Night. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah,
I know I'm gonna. So maybe because next week we're pushing closer to Halloween, we can do Werewolf by Night and Hellraiser next week.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a full show thing next week because we still need to talk now that Rings of Power is done. We can talk about that one.
Yeah, I can go into.
Maybe we'll just do a full show wrap up next week. It'll be fun.
But we have such sights to show you.
Do you?
I mean,
oh God, stop saying that line. That's stupid.
Yeah. All right. Coming
angels
out
to some, demons to others.
Y'all, this week, if you're a physical media person, this is a hard week because there's a lot of shit.
My wallet hurts.
It does. So not for this. Bullet Train is out in a 4K, a Steelbook, and a Blu-ray. Batman, Superman, Battle of the Super Sons. I don't know anything about this, but DC's track record with animated movies is almost just a buy because their stuff is so good. This is my most anticipated of this week, and that is Return of the Living Dead 4K.
I need it.
I'm going to be owning that. Bodies. You know my feelings on that. We've talked about it in depth. Here's a funny one. Fall. If you remember my reaction to that movie from the theatrical release, I'm not going to buy this new, but if I find this used somewhere at McKay's or whatever, I'm probably going to pick that up, to be honest with you. The Ring is out, an anniversary limited edition Blu-ray. I don't know why it's not a 4K, so I'll be waiting on that one. Cure is probably the coolest Criterion release up to the end of the year. Cure is a great movie. Orphan First Kill is out. This again is another find it used purchase for me. Tropic Thunder is out on a 4K. I'll be getting that one. American Movie, my favorite documentary of all time. I'll be getting that.
It does not contain Coven.
It doesn't contain the short film, but that's fine. I have that on DVD. Paws of Fury, The Legend of Hank is out. E.T., the 40th anniversary 4K Steelbook and regular edition is out. Steven got that lunchbox coming. I ordered the lunchbox, baby.
Nice.
$65, but I don't care.
Yeah. Oh, you know what's good about like Coven not being on this Blu-ray? It means my DVD is valuable.
True. That DVD has always been valuable anyway.
Yeah.
But now it's like going to be more. And you want to know what the really best part of that is? I thought that when my shed got robbed, I thought that it had got taken. So I got another one. So I have two. Because
where is it?
It's in storage, but I have a second one. Yeah. All right. So this is the week of shitty movies that Steven likes because No Escape is out, and I'm going to get that too. That's a Ray Liotta movie. And Lance Henriksen. I like that movie. And then Two Witches is out from Arrow Video. It's a lot of shit, boys.
Yeah.
And girls.
Yeah.
Do you have a comic book recommendation for us to be looking up, Nico?
So, there's a few this week. Nightwing number 97 over on DC. Tom Taylor has been doing a really good run on Nightwing. It's been a lot of fun. Thor number 28. You have Thor versus Venom. You also have Batman the Knight, which is wrapping up the Chip Zdarsky prequel Batman miniseries. It's supposed to be basically following Bruce Wayne's like international training pre-Batman. Iron Man, the Christopher Cantwell run is starting to wind down. The second to last issue, 24, is out this week. I recommend that run. Is a lot of fun. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I was fixing a problem. Nathan got dropped from the chat somehow.
That was weird.
You'd be struggling. All right, cool. Well, there's still some good stuff there.
Yep.
All right, I forgot what I was going to say. All right, let's bring this thing to an end. My stomach did stop growling, but I'm still starving. Nico, where do we find you on the internet?
Twitter, Instagram, occasionally updating Letterboxd or just commenting on Stevens under Nico Scream, NIKOSCREAM.
Tina?
You can find me on most major social media sites under Cheddar Popper. That is CHEDRPOPPR. And as always, look for the adorable puppy Shadow on the.shadow.pupper on TikTok and Instagram.
Awesome. Zach?
You can find me. Where can you find me nowadays?
Find your boy.
You can find me on Instagram. I'm Master of the Matrix 71. And you can find
6
me
inches
on
deep.
Steam.
That's right.
as well as Discord as a dangerous mute lunatic. I haven't been on my computer in like 2.5 weeks.
I know. That's something.
I've been busy.
Busy.
You can find me this Saturday night at the Belcourt Theater at the 12 Hours of Terror.
That's right. That's what's happening.
Tell them Babs sent you.
Yeah, do that. All right. Nathan?
You can find me Instagram, Nate_R_70. And yeah, I actually might be back here in 2 weeks again. So
Yes.
yeah, so November 2nd, I think I have off. Yep.
Hey.
Perfect. Hey. So find me, like Nico said, on Letterboxd under CultureSmash. That's probably the best place. And then you can find me on TikTok under OTS Movies. And if you want to see some 12 Hours of Terror action, I'll probably do some TikToks or something during that while we're there getting our 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. coffee break and all that craziness that's about to happen. Those are the 2 best places. I'm on Instagram, but those are just OTS Movies there, but those are just reposts of my TikToks. So
please don't show something as shit as Aribado this year.
Yeah, we don't really want that. Thank you guys in the chat room for your interactions. And if you guys want to join us, remember, stay with us if you want to join us for Fantasy Film Ball. And I think maybe I'll have some digital codes to give away next week during the show. So come on back and join us. You saw the stack of digital codes I've got, right? It's like this thick.
Wait, hold on.
I've got so many digital codes right now.
Those weren't for me?
No, they weren't for you.
Oh.
Okay. Go punch him in the balls after this. All right.
Oh, because I just love digital codes.
You love them.
That's why I buy physical fucking editions.
Right. All right. We'll see everybody next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.